And now we get to the good stuff. Our businesses are based simply on the products that we make. So central to our websites will be those pages that clearly describe the products that are available to our customers to buy. So on our final day of the 3-day Bath and Beauty Brand Website Content Challenge, we will focus on product pages. Now, when we mention product pages, what exactly are we referring to? So there are two different types of product pages. There's the product listing page and the product detail page. And as you probably have already assumed, your product listing page is a central repository of all products that are available on your website for purchase, whereas your product detail page is a single page that provides all the information and details on a single product. We all shop online. We all interact with these kinds of pages all the time in our own personal lives and business lives as we buy products and services online. We are now going to characterize our product offerings using product listing pages and product detail pages. So let's start with PLP first. As mentioned, on your website, you will have a page or more that lists all available products that are available for purchase. Your product listing page, if you're just starting, will likely just be a single page with all the products. Because if you're just starting, it's very unlikely that you have a lot of products. So you're likely to just have a single product listing page. But as your portfolio grows, you will find ways to pull out or group different groups of products and have separate listing pages. If you're doing special promotions, so for example, Mother's Day is coming up, if you have special products that are only available or are highly recommended for Mother's Day, you may have a special product listing page for that. If you have products that are available for wholesale or business-to-business buyers, you may have a separate listing for that. So product listing pages is really a central collection of all products that are available for purchase. And they provide shoppers with a quick overview on what is available. And they should allow for easy navigation to a page that can describe in detail all the information on a specific product, or to send someone through to the product detail page. Typically speaking, product listing pages are linked directly to the shop or products item on the menu or on the header. So typically speaking, that is where you would find your product listing page. When your visitor clicks shop at the very top, it will take them to a product listing page that has all the products that are available listed. Now on your product listing page, there are 6 key components that is strongly recommended that you have on your PLP. Number 1, give the page a general name. It could simply be all, right? So if all your products are on this single page, you can call it all, you can call it products, you can call it shop. If for some reason you may have different categories or buckets of products, you could give the page name that particular banner. So for example, if you have a gift guide, you could call it gift guide for Mother's Day, for example. Then each product, if it belongs to a specific category, you need to also tag or refer to that category for that particular product. So for example, if on your product page you have face products, you have body products, you have hands and feet, you have aromatherapy products, you have gift sets, if you have bestsellers, you have vegan. If you have different categories within your entire portfolio, it is useful to refer to categories so that it allows the customers to quickly find what they're looking for. Product name. This is very, very, very important. I have seen more often than I would expect websites that I've reviewed, and there are product images there, but there are no product names. And most of the time, the assumption is the product name is on the label, so there's no need to repeat it. And that is a no-no. You have to ensure that you have a product name, and it should be clear and very obvious to the website visitor what the product is and what it is used to do. As the formulator, as the entrepreneur, your product names will make sense to you because you are in your business. But to persons on the outside, you have to ensure that the information is clear and concise. Price is also important. Price is a major determinant for purchase. So the consumer wants to know exactly what price you are offering the product at so that they can make some decisions about what they will purchase, what they will buy. If there are discounts or promotions that are available, also make those noted in some way. And most content management systems, most website builders that facilitate e-commerce will have very simple, intuitive ways of discounting your promotional products. If you have variations, so let's say, for example, you have a product in different sizes or different scents or different botanical extracts or different colors. So let's say, for example, you have different packaging colors, for example, or gift packaging colors. These kinds of variations are very, very helpful on the product listing page because it allows the buyer to see kind of immediately what the sub options are for a given product. And then if there are special tags, special features and characteristics that would also help motivate purchase or might help the buyer to identify specific products, you need to also include those. So bestsellers, organic, cruelty-free, these kinds of special tags, award-winning, can help to incentivize or encourage purchase as well. So these are the 6 key elements that I believe are important and useful for having on your product listing page. Here are some examples. Here is Cocokind and Earth Harbor. So this is the product listing page. If you use Amazon, for example, whenever you type something in the search and you see all of those products come up, and then you go through and determine which one you want to look you'd like to get more information on, that page where you get all those products, that's the product listing page. So these are fairly straightforward, again, because we're all shopping online. We're used to these kinds of pages. It is now for you to convert your own products into these kinds of pages. That's kind of where it is. This experience should be different for you. So in the case of Cocokind, for example, they clearly have many different categories of products. So they have an all section, so that page name is important. So if you have different buckets or different collections, by having the name of the collection at the very top, it will help indicate to the buyer very clearly what is being offered. They have cleaners and toners, moisturizers, sun protection products, serums, etc. So that is very useful. And then this is the all page. So they simply have high quality images. They have special tags, bestseller. I can't see exactly what it is looking at the screen directly, but they have different tags that I think are very useful. Some I think maybe new. I think these are new releases, etc. So high quality products, tags, product names that clearly describe what the product is and what it should do. They also have a little description, which can also be very helpful. So if you have a way of describing your products in a simple way in very few words, that can be useful. They also have social proof. So they have reviews, which would also be very helpful because buyers will also determine which products to focus on based on reviews. So if you are a more well-established brand and you have these reviews, include those as well. A call to action is there, which you can have. That call to action can either be add to cart or learn more, get more information, buy now. The call to action can be very important here. Oftentimes, you can simply just click on the image and it will take you to the product detail page, and then they have price. In the case of Earth Harbor, they too have, all products listed. They have, this social proof about appearing in Elle is included. So if you have those kind of badges or certificates, ensure that you include those. High quality images, reviews, the names of products, and the prices. You realize they don't have an add to cart or shop now button. So it's not absolutely necessary, because most people, most consumers are used to product listing pages. So when they come to this repository, they know they just click on the image and it will take them to the product detail page. Now we will look at the product detail page. Okay, so now this is a slight variation, and this is now where you describe in as much detail as possible your product, each product. So each product will have its own product detail page. And what you're doing is that you are empowering your buyers, your consumers, your website visitors to make informed purchasing decision. You're giving them as much information as you possibly can about the product, so that they can use that information to determine whether they will buy your product or they will not. Not buying your product is just as important a decision as deciding to buy the products. So product detail pages are extremely important, and they're not to be neglected. What should it include? So there are 8 main components that we should include on the product detail page. Number 1, the product name. Just in the case of the product listing page, it needs to be clear, descriptive, concise, and it must link back to the name that's on the product listing page. And ensure that the name clearly defines or describes what the product is and what it is being used for. Price, you should always have clearly listed there so that they see what is to be included, and include any discounts or promotions or sale items that you have, or sale tags, so that people are aware that they're getting a good deal. Product descriptions are gonna be critical on your product detail page. And in your product description, you are describing or summarizing the key benefits, the key features, and if there are any limitations, drawbacks, contraindications. So this is the area where you will cover that. Any precautions, this is where you would include that. If there's special information about the selection of special botanicals, special active ingredients, and other ingredients, this is where you showcase that. So you want to encapsulate how this product solves the problem of your consumer. That is how you should be writing, and you should also use persuasive language. So in reading, they're understanding the problem, solution, relationship, but they're being motivated to select your product as a solution. So that language crafting in a motivation, persuasive kind of tone is going to be important in your descriptions. How to use, very important, because cosmetic products how well they perform is a function of how well they are used, or how is a function of whether the consumer is using the product properly. So it is very important that you provide detailed description on how to use a product. When are they to use it? How much are they supposed to use? How often are they supposed to use it? Are there any special precautions? Are there special storage considerations? These are things that you can include or should include in your how to use section. Ingredients. Now, this is an area that so many brands, small brands and big brands, seem to I'm not going to say forget, but I think oftentimes it's a deliberate attempt to protect what is proprietary about products. And I understand as formulators, you spend weeks and months and years coming up with this amazing formulation. And when you list all your ingredients, you essentially expose yourself to other formulators duplicating or duping the product. And therefore, many brands don't list their ingredients. They may list a few, so like spotlight ingredients or special ingredients, they may list those, but they do not include all the ingredients. My recommendation is that you include all of your ingredients according to your local label guidelines. Each country, each jurisdiction will oftentimes have some guidelines about how cosmetics are to be labeled, depending on the jurisdiction within which you are operating. Because I know online says you can sell anywhere, but at least use the regulations within your local context. You are to list your ingredients in full. And what this allows for is for your consumer to assess whether this product is safe for them and whether this product, because remember, they can't touch, feel, smell your product. So by giving them the ingredients, they get to develop a sensory perception without having the physical product. So on those two fronts, it is very important that you list your ingredients. The risk of persons stealing your not your formulation because they don't have that, but duping your product, that will always be a risk, but that risk should not outweigh or should not take away the informed choice that your consumer should have. Okay? A call to action. Have a very clear CTA on each product detail page. And this can simply be an add to cart, buy now, because essentially what you really want is for the product to be sold. You want the customer to buy. And if you don't include a clear call to action button on the product detail page, they're going to be confused about what to do and they're likely to just leave the website. So include a call to action button, and this will ensure that if they're interested in the product, if they're convinced that this product will help them solve their particular challenge, they will go ahead and easily complete the purchase. Social proof. Very, very, very important. Things like customer reviews and ratings, things like special badges and certifications, even statements like dermatologically tested, clinically studied, ingredients scientifically proven to scientifically formulated. Those kinds of statements in your product descriptions or key benefits can also be very useful. And then finally, if you have limited product availability or limited stock, it is important to include that so that customers are aware of any limitations you may have. If it is out of stock, you need to put that it is out of stock with a note as to when it will be available. You can also use this information as a marketing tactic for scarcity and urgency. So it will motivate your customers to buy if you have limited stock. So including those kinds of terminology can help to encourage an immediate purchase, can help to encourage them to buy now instead of waiting until later. So when you're doing special promotions, for example, and if you have limited stock or if you have a sale or promotion until a given date, include that information on your product detail. There are some websites that I've seen where they may include like while stocks last on their homepage, right? So for Mother's Day, get special discount or use a coupon code, for example, and it's on the homepage. And then when you get to the product detail page, it's not there. So your buyer would have forgotten what scarcity tools they need to be using to get the best purchase. So ensure that you're including that. If you have a coupon code, include that on your product description page, or product detail page rather. If you have limited stock, don't just put while stocks last on your product listing page, but not on your product detail page. All that information has to be on your product detail page. Here are some examples, again, from Cocokind, their vitamin C glow serum. They have that kind of summary description, so evens tone with hydration. So it's a simple description. It has a price. It has the social proof at the very top, so the reviews, and then it has a brief description at the top. And it has some information on the net weight or the quantity that you're purchasing. It uses these icons as a way of talking about its benefit, which is very useful. They have different variations in that you can do a one-time purchase or you can do a subscription. And having those options on the product detail page will help make the buying process easier. Quantity is something that will automatically be generated if you're doing product sales within most website builders, so that's fine. And then notice on the product detail page, there is the very prominent add to cart button. So this again is something, that call to action, that is going to be extremely important. Ensure that's something that you're looking at when you're looking at different colors and fonts. That's very important. Then of course it has information on logistics, which can also be an important element to include. And then it covers benefits, ingredients, and how to use. You will also, with a lot of the content management systems, it will allow you to add other products right below it, so that if persons want to add additional products, they don't have to go back to the product listing page. And these will give some specific recommendations from the businesses what would be a complimentary purchase. And then of course the social proof at the bottom with the feedback, reviews from prior customers. Earth Harbor has a very similar structure, has strong images included, the name of the product, the reviews, and the price, and it talks a little bit about the payment options that may be available, and an add to cart button. And then they have the description, which is more detailed. I much prefer a more detailed description so that there aren't too many questions, and so that it doesn't only seem like a kind of marketing description, but instead here is information to help you make a decision. And then it includes things such as routine, the benefits, and the ingredients. This is an excellent, another excellent example of the product detail page for Earth Harbor. We are finally at the end of the challenge. The only last thing for us to do is to do the assignment. So you would have learned about product listing pages and product detail pages, and now is the time for you to start writing yours. So let's hop over to the workbook and just do a quick review on your assignment for today. Okay, so here is the workbook for day 3, where you'll be focusing on your product listing pages and your product detail pages. So the first section is a product listing page, and here you will create a showcase for your products. And by the end of this worksheet, you will have a very clear listing of your main products that you would like to offer to your customers. So it's fairly straightforward. You're going to have a page heading, and then you can include a description if you wish, just a very brief description if you wish. And then you can have different categories or collections. If you are just starting and you have very few products, you may not yet be categorizing your products, which is fine. So you can simply ignore the category section and just go straight into your product information. But if you do have categories, so for example, if you have bath bombs separate from bath salts and you want to have those on your website in different collections or different categories, this is where you would put bath bombs, and then you'd briefly describe that. And then you go ahead and put in the detailed description for each bath bomb product. Okay, and the information that you would include is the name of the bath bomb, the price, the variations that you may have available, special tags if you want to include that, and a call to action if you'd like to also include a call to action. And we have allowed 4 or given you space for 4 products per category. If you have more than that, you can certainly duplicate the pages as needs be so that you have enough space to write your information in. Categories, this is another category 2, so you can now do bath salts and you repeat the process. So fairly straightforward. I believe there are 4 categories in all. You may not need them. If you need more, just simply print more pages or save another copy of this so that you can use the fillable sections. Then we go to the product detail page. So again, each product will have its own product detail page. So this section is to help you to craft the content so that you're providing enough information to help your customers to make a buying decision. So product 1, what is the name? What is the category, which you'll pull from the section before if you have them in different categories. Do you have variations for each? Yes. And what are their relative prices? Because that you will have to capture in your product detail page. If you have special tags that you'd like to include, you can write that there. Their availability, you can also include that there. If you have any scarcity or urgency that you want to make note of, any marketing ideas, you can add those there. So for example, if you only have 100 in stock, you can put 100. If there is scarcity, so if there is a sale that ends in 48 hours, you may put a coupon code valid until two days later, right? And that will help again to motivate purchase right away. And then you're going to include your product description, your product use and instructions, your product ingredients, and product reviews if you have them, and then a call to action. And that is the information you're going to include for all of your products. I believe there are 5 or 6 products, enough space for 5 or 6 products. If you have more, just simply duplicate the pages or relevant pages that you would need. So this particular assignment can be a bit taxing if you have a big portfolio or if you have a product that you've not really yet started to describe in consumer focused terms. And that is very important. Ensure when you're writing the information, you're writing it for your consumer and not for your fellow formulator. Okay, it needs to be very clear, very concise, and also very persuasive. So take some time to go through this section to help you to develop your content so that you can press forward in having all your content completed out of this challenge. So that's it. That is the end of day 3. I hope you made significant progress. I hope by the end of day 3, or at the very least by the end of the week, you have a very comfortable first draft of your website content, and you're pretty proud of what you have accomplished. So now that you have written your content for your bath and beauty brand website, what's next? Because the content doesn't mean anything if it isn't in front of your potential customers. So what next? And I'm sure you have an answer to that. Next, you will need to use your content to build your website. That is the next step. So I will be hosting a free live masterclass tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I will go through 10 steps to build your bath and beauty brand website. I know how daunting building a website can be, or how it can appear, but there are some amazing tools that exist that makes entrepreneurs like you able to build your own website. And I will be discussing some of those tools. I'll be discussing strategy, and I'll be discussing a work plan that will help take your content that you've worked on for the past 3 days and to create a website for your skincare or hair care brand and have it up and running in no time. So please join me live tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is Thursday. If you're on the East Coast, USA, please join. It will be live via Facebook group as well as Zoom. So the Zoom link is available in the Facebook group, so you can hop on to Zoom, or you can simply join us live in Facebook. And we'll be going through the simple 10 steps to get your website up and running. The hardest part of building a website is oftentimes writing the content, getting the content ready so that you can move into the design phase. You have already accomplished that through your work during the challenge. So let's just take it one step further. Let us use the tools, the strategies, and the work plans available to us to build and launch your website so that you can start making sales and making impact in your customers' lives. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the live masterclass. So we have now come to the end of this video lesson. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to share it in the Facebook group. Please remember to join us live later today at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is Wednesday, where we're going to be answering any questions you may have on your product listing page and on your product detail pages. If you have other questions that you would like to ask about what we do here in the group and other activities and events that we have coming up and how you can get some additional support, please feel free to send me an email at hello@skincarestartup.com. I will be listening out for you, and I look forward to seeing you later today at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the live Q&A, and to seeing you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the masterclass on how you can build your own website. Thanks so much. See you soon.